Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Kansas. Now with Independence Day fast approaching, you know we got to get our American ships out there and make everybody in the game regret life choices. And so we're going to kick that off by starting with none other than the Kansas. Y'all know I love the ship. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's one of my favorite ships in the game, bar none. Like, tier for tier, I would take this thing up against anything. I mean, it wasn't very long ago I used to take it up against Yamas, and I did okay then, too. So, it's a good ship. It really is. But, with all of that being said, we are on the path to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys punch that subscribe button. Join us on our path to 50,000. We're starting to fall a little bit behind, so I need all the help I can get, guys. I appreciate every one of you for hanging out with me each and every day. And, yeah, with that being said, let's get right into the action. So we're on Northern Waters. This map and I have pretty good history. I've had a lot of amazing games on this map. It can be a bit iffy at times, but there are so many opportunities in this map to just absolutely reach out and punish people for making stupid plays. So what we're going to do first is just put ourselves in a position to look at the enemy ships and what they're doing. We don't want to fire our guns right away, but then we see this Atlanta and I'm like, okay, well we can't not shoot at this Atlanta. So we're going to go ahead and take the shot. First shot, not the best. Second shot looks okay. Unfortunately, he does turn towards us here. We get a couple of hits, but not a whole lot of damage. And then we take a pretty significant... I guess not. There's only one overpin, it looked like. But Nagato decides to go full broadside here, and we are going to make sure that he regrets his life choices. Now again, he starts to turn away, and this is the part that people don't pay attention to. Look at him turning away slightly. He's not turning away sharply, but he's turning away enough that I want to aim a little bit higher here. Now fortunately for me, I've got a friendly Nagato shoving me along because reasons. And so... yeah, he's going to be in our way a little bit here. Now, there we get a very good shot into that Nagato. Our Nagato takes about a third of his health in damage because, again, just putting himself out there to be chunked. And this is the stuff that we have to try to avoid on this map because everybody can pretty much reach out and touch you from most places on the map. Unless, of course, everybody goes out to the corners like they sometimes do and are appearing to do at the Charlie Cap. So, what we're going to do, knowing that there's a Kansas out here, knowing it's in Atlanta, we don't need to put ourselves in a position to go around the backside of the island, okay? So what we're going to do is start to rotate to the inside of the islands. And that'll set up crossfires for our team across the map. Because right now, they don't have a whole lot of help over there. So we need to try to help them out. So we're going to start rotating our guns to the right, and we're going to start sailing our ship into the middle of the map. Our team's already captured A, so we don't need to do anything crazy here. We need to put ourselves in a position where we can take advantage of shooting the enemy for the rest of the game. Remember, Kansas, not fast. I know, crazy thought, but it really is not fast. So putting ourselves in a position where we are able to continue to shoot at the enemy for the long duration of this match is going to be beneficial to us. And this is something that a lot of people get wrong with slower battleships, especially American dreadnoughts, because they are so slow. If you put yourself out of position, you're basically sitting around twiddling your thumbs for half the match before you get into position to do some things again. And you can see this while we haven't been able to shoot anything for a moment. But we're working our way towards the enemy rather than following the enemy around the map, which is always going to be a better process for us. Now, Kansas angling himself against the teammates behind me, not doing so well to angle against me. Now, obviously, as soon as we fire these guns, you can see I'm waiting for him to initiate the turn. It looks like he's going to get his full broadside away. As soon as he starts, we go ahead and open up and look at that salvo. Center of mass, blunk. You just love to see it. 9 out of 12 shells landing on target. 5 of them full penetrations, 4 of them being overpins. Now, Atlanta comes out, gets himself absolutely murdered. Our New Orleans does the one thing he can't do, which is just go broadside. I mean, I'm pretty sure the Kansas probably just took all of his hit points. But knowing that Kansas is still there, we don't worry about the Atlanta. We're holding our shot for the Kansas. Atlanta manages to get his torpedoes away, which is kind of hilarious, but Kansas manages to finish off the New Orleans regardless. Now, again, we're not going to fire right away because it looks like he wants to turn towards us, right? So why fire while he's angled instead of like waiting for him to commit to the turn and then catching him as he's turning in? And you'll see the result is much better this time around. Still, 7 out of 12 shells hit, and the only reason that there wasn't more hits there is because he didn't have any health left. We ended up citadeling him. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. Be patient with those shots. Let your enemy make that turn. It's never going to end in their favor, so just wait. A lot of people just, as soon as they get loaded, they're firing their guns, and it's like, okay, well, you shot at an angled person, he's going to be able to stay angled. Or you could have waited 4 or 5 seconds and the guy would have started his turn in which case he's raising his citadel out of the water, making it easier to potentially citadel him, and he's just giving you a better angle to get more penetrations, right? Now you can see Kansas and Nagato off our bow, can't shoot them. Baltimore, however, beaches himself, starts to reverse away. Not the best shot in the world, a little bit of a rushed shot because I was kind of hoping to just get the kill here. But because of our rush shot, he was turning away from us, and those shells end up hitting off to the side of him. Perfect example of being too accurate for your own good sometimes. That was just a bad shot by me. Can't blame the ship for that. Just didn't pay attention to what he was doing. Ended up splashing next to his ship rather than hitting him and finishing him off. That leaves a Balti alive. Now our team's in a good position here. Our destroyer's trying to capture the base. Balti has decided, okay, I'm going to tip my hat and say goodbye. He comes out, goes full broadside, gets one salvo away, he's done. I don't care how many hit points you had there. That was probably not going to end in your favor. Now, next, you can see I'm trying to put myself between the battleships and the destroyer here. The destroyer is being harassed by the carrier. So I want to put myself between the destroyer and the battleship. I want to make sure that battleship focuses me rather than the destroyer. And you can see there are torpedoes coming from our carrier. We get a shot here towards the superstructure. He is over angled, so we aim high and we end up finishing him off with, again, another 8 shells out of 12 landing on target. This is why I love this ship. It is so freaking consistent, man. The Kansas is just like, it doesn't care. Not only is it accuracy by volume, but it's accuracy by accuracy. Like, the thing just hits all the time. You'll get a couple of troll salvos here and there, but the Kansas is just going to put a lot of beat down on you. It don't matter what your angle is. If they know to shoot your superstructure, Kansas can hit you for 20k into the superstructure. It's so nasty, man. Kansas just does not care about your life choices. It's going to make you regret all of them. Okay? But we're going to push around the island here. We know there's a Nagato. We know there's a Colorado. We know the carrier's over here somewhere. The destroyer's last known was farther away. So we're in a pretty good position.
We do be winning, matey.
Not only that, if you look back, our battleships that went to Alpha, you see they ain't had nothing to do, really. Like, these guys have been so far out of play for so long, they're probably regretting their life choices right now. They only had the 2 ships over there to shoot at the entire time, and we got rid of one of them pretty quickly, and the other one got punished by the cruisers. So they've been sailing around with twiddling their thumbs for a while, and that is exactly what I said we didn't want to do, right? We didn't want to push around that island because it doesn't do us any good. Everybody was setting up to kite. There was no reason for us to push into that. So putting ourselves in the middle of the map, despite being in a slower ship, we're in a better position late game. Now, our first shot was pretty solid against the Nagato. This second shot looks absolutely disgusting. Like, that's the kind of accuracy that makes you shake your head because you know that's going to hurt. And sure enough, we land 11 out of 12 shells at 13.5 kilometers. Now, obviously, we are up to a 4 times proc on our epic artillery plotting room. But, yeah, I mean, you're going to get to see a little bit. Like, it's still RNG, right? despite how much accuracy you can get on a ship, like, at the end of the day, it's still RNG that decides whether you're going to get the hits. Now, obviously, we do everything we can to make it as consistent as possible, but as you can see, sometimes the shells are just going to move apart more than others, okay? It is what it is. They can't all touch all the time because you would just annihilate everybody in the lobby, and the game would be over very quickly, right? If battleships were as accurate as they probably should be in this game, just imagine if battleships were cruiser accurate. Let's just put that on perspective. If battleships were cruiser accurate, nobody would ever be willing to not be bowing. Let's just put that in. Like, if you ever got caught broadside with a battleship that's cruiser accurate, you're done. But you can see we are continuously putting rounds into the Colorado. We stopped shooting at the Nagato here because look at the points right now. I'm trying to get as much damage as possible. We're at 140,000 damage, right? So I'm trying to get as much damage as possible. So I shoot the Nagato, I take all of his health. I'm shooting at the Colorado to try and take all of his health, letting my teammates finish him off, even though we could have gotten a Kraken in this lobby, potentially. I knew that once we kill one, we're only going to get one more shot to kill the other. And sure enough, he comes around the island, he's over-angled, we put it right through the cheek, and that leaves us with 976 points. We have 170,000 damage and 4 kills. Again, missing out on the Kraken, but I was worried that if we shot the Nagato instead of getting the Colorado, that we would end up not getting the Colorado and getting all that extra health, and I just wanted the more damage. You know it's a win, sometimes it's okay to play for damage. So here we ended up having a really fun game. 170,000 damage, high cows. About as easy a game as you could ask for in the Kansas, to be real. 2,372 base XP, 4 kills. Second on the team. Plymouth coming in tops with 2,860. I believe he was holding his side of the map, so well done to him. But let me know what you guys think. Are you guys ready for a little bit of a... I think I might stream on Independence Day for you guys. A little American stream for you guys on Independence Day. Let me know if you guys would be interested. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button. Leave a comment below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, I will see you in the next video.